Tesla has long prided themselves on their safety and safety scores. They just keep coming in, even on vehicles that were predicted by many to be much, much too dangerous. So dangerous, in fact, that they'll never see the roads, let alone the light of day. No, those tests have also come back very favorably. We've got some new reports about crash testing of the Cybertruck and of the Model Y as well. We're going to have a chat about that. That's me and my buddy Mark from the Tesla Life. He's got his own show over there at the Tesla Life, live on Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and some other shows throughout the week with Patrick and Casey, and they're always a lot of fun. Check them out. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futurasa. So here's what we got going on. We just found out Tesla Cybertruck secures highest IIHS safety rating of any pickup, gas or electric, outperforming even the Rivian R1T, which is a very safe vehicle. Let me start with this question for you, Mark. Why is it that electric pickups are less likely to flip over?
Because they're bottom heavy, Brian. They have all the weight between the axles at the bottom of the vehicle, and that makes them much more sturdy than vehicles that have an elevated engine above the axles.
All correct. That is all correct. Why are electric trucks less likely to have side intrusion in a T-bone collision?
Because they're typically higher than the vehicles they're getting hit by. Does that make sense?
Also,
they're a little bit higher.
The battery pack is really hard to intrude upon.
True.
Yeah, so that's the big one there. And why does the front end have so much better crumple zone?
It's called a Frunk. And the Frunk is a big crumple zone that's designed to take impact.
And if I want added safety, I could just carry a beanbag around.
Yes, you could.
I think that would work. I don't know. I
don't know if I would bet on that one, but okay.
If I win the Mega Millions, I won't tell anyone, but there might be signs.
There'll be signs.
Did you hear Brian bought 2 Cybertrucks to crash one with a beanbag in the front? Yeah, that would be very silly. The Cybertruck earned good ratings, the highest possible score. Are you joking me? The highest score is good.
It's good.
Did you go to one of those schools? I don't know, man.
You would think they would have a higher rating than good.
Yeah, it's got the highest score, a brown star. I don't feel like that's the highest score, you guys. Tesla Model Y receives top safety score of any vehicle ever tested. Any vehicle, gas, electric, any. Wow. Tesla continues to prove they make the safest cars on the road, with the Model Y receiving the top safety rating from Euro NCAP and Australia's ANCAP. So this isn't even IIHS. This is the European and Australian testing agencies. It's the latest car safety report to give Tesla's Model Y a top safety score. Model Y just arrived in Australia a few months ago, despite being a popular vehicle in the US for some years now. Okay, well, this is the refreshed one, so pay attention. Head in the game here, not a Tesla app. Model Y also achieved a top safety score with NHTSA. So with an outstanding score of 97%, the highest score of any vehicle tested in this protocol. Score for adult. Now, there are old tests that if you go back 20, 30 years, you might find a car that scored 100%. But I'm pretty sure those tests were like, how does it do crashing into a fence post at 5 miles an hour? The tests have gotten harder is what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think.
There were cases where the tests were not really striving for safety. They were looking at some somewhat silly things. And of course, way back in time, cars were not built that well for safety. So it's something that they got better as time went on, just like the test.
There is footage on YouTube of a modern car in a I think a head-on or maybe a small moderate overlap collision with a 1950s, 60s big car. And that old car, you're like, oh my gosh, it's going to just plow through it. Nope, the old car folded. It just folded. You can watch the A-pillar buckle into where the occupant's head should have been and partly would have remained forever. So that's not great. Cars have gotten much safer. The tests keep getting harder because we need to eliminate road deaths. Am I crazy? Did I miss
Exactly.
it? So, guys, I'm on the road. I have just finished my gig in Nevada tour. Tomorrow, I'm getting a site visit at Redwood Materials. Friday, I'm going to be out at Fremont Factory to hang out with someone. I don't know if he wants me saying his name, but someone important to Tesla. Not, like a C-suite
It's
level.
Santa, isn't it? It's Santa, right?
It's my Santa, that's for sure. He got me in on a factory tour. And because it's a friends and family tour, he has to come with me. So I get to ask even better questions of a guide who has better answers. Yeah. So with that said, we're going to get into the questions so we can get the fudge out of here. This is our video from last week. Tesla dismantles China collapse narrative completely. Now, did it? I mean, the titles can sometimes be a bit hyperbolic.
Just a bit.
Can be, no guarantees. Can you guess what YouTube channel's at the top of my list in my YouTube yearly wrap-up? That's right, Futuraza. I was surprised too. Yeah. I don't know how you beat SMR. Maybe because you make 42 videos a day. Feels like it.
Maiko is really tuned in, isn't he? He's a constant viewer if he knows you're making 42 a day.
If you count guest appearances, this is the 6th video I've shot in the last couple hours.
Oh my goodness.
Exhausting. I am ready for dinner, Mark. So why won't you set me free? Low revving diesel trucks use 14 volt. Okay. I doubt they would really notice an FSD compute. If you can run big winches, lights, and refrigerators, I think a 300-watt computer would be fine. That said, I wonder if FSD would get confused by shifting, no regen, and throttle lag. I think those computers are sufficiently delicate that you'd want some kind of battery buffer between the alternator and the compute.
Yeah, like a power saver that you're not going to get some bad power or a spike or a lack
UPS.
of it just in a microsecond to ruin the computer.
Yeah, big universal power supply. A UPS, what can Brown do for you? That was the worst ad campaign in history. Did no one say it out loud before they... Hey, why are the least knowledgeable bears the most confident?
Because they're
the
loud.
Dunning-Kruger effect. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know about something, the more confident you are. Thank you, Mark, at 22 minutes and 9 seconds. No idea what you said. No idea.
More on EVs. You got to put a little more context into that question.
You know what? I mean, I can click it and find out for you. Let me just do that. Oh, yeah. It's so late in the video. I would feel terrible about it. Okay. Did you catch all that?
I don't know what the question is yet. Okay.
So yeah, it was what we are being thanked for is that you made comments mandatory. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome.
Great. Yeah, you're welcome. Mark, what do you think of the Grizzly E Club EV charger network in Canada?
That it's a fairly new entry into the EV charger network, and it's made in Canada. I haven't had any real experience with it, but I have known a few people that have gotten the Grizzly Club, and they're happy with it. So good to see it working. Hopefully, it will continue to be a good staple in EV charging.
Very good. I bet the Cash for Clunkers is also looking at cleaning up the air. Brian, how has the air quality in China changed in the last 10, 15 years? Well, I am happy to tell you I know the answer to this one. When I was there a lot between 99-ish, 2000-ish, and 2003, 4-ish, 2004, I guess. Lived there for a time, worked there quite a bit, and the air was bad. I saw a picture of Shanghai. I joked to my boss, look at that, blue sky. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, blue sky in Shanghai? I've never seen one, ever. She goes, well, this is just fog. I said, honey, fog clears, and it isn't brown. It's not, as they say, UPS. What can it do for you? Asthma is what it can do. So what happened is now the sky is blue, and you don't have to take my word for it. You can go watch WUA's drone footage from even 5 years ago. The sky was already getting quite blue. Electric vehicles are everywhere. The birds are chirping on a Sunday morning. On a Tuesday morning, if you're up early enough, you'll hear the birds and you won't hear the cars. So the air has gotten so much better. It's wonderful. So there's the answer to that. Mandatory comment. That late is cruel but fair. Okay, Merry Holidays, and thanks for the informative banter. JD.
Thanks, JD.
JD, what are you doing? Fiat 500 EV in Quebec, $25 a week? No brainer for low mileage users. We talked about that a little last week. Yeah, yep. If that's right for you, if that's still there, if it's not gone from a week ago.
Yeah, and don't sit on the fence on that one. Like, act immediately because you already may be too late.
Wait, so if the United States does a naval blockade of food imports to China, they'll starve. Yes, but please don't. No, that would just create a war at sea. Naval blockades are what you do in a asymmetric war where one side has all the power. China has a substantial navy. Let's not do it. What do you think about that? Should we not do it, Mark?
Yeah, I don't think we should be blocking food imports with a country we're not at war with.
I think that's a great idea. So, guys, in the comments, what do we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it. Leave your comments, your questions. I beg of you. It is the holidays. I need them. They sustain me. But if not, hey, I guess I can't prove that you didn't. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy, and I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots when I get some food in me because I'm about to pass out.